Hey, what is up there, guys? And welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on today? I'm doing alright. You know what? In my last video, I was talking about the new single, Bang with Eminem, and how he reunited and he just let Ja know that I'm still in your ear there, buddy. I'm still in your ear. He was just reminiscing on his past, a lot of, not just Ja, but a lot of his past beefs. But in my last video, I went more in depth with Ja Rule because Ja Rule, he takes a lot of R's here on The Evolve. But you know what? I was looking at my comments and a lot of you all were in the comments like, hey, you must have missed the Canibus this. You must have missed all of that. I'm like, and the thing is that I didn't miss it. I want to let you guys know that I didn't miss it. It was just, well, the whole Canibus and Eminem, it's a whole video in itself. Speaking of which, right now, that's that video. Let's talk about it. Okay, so in Bang, this new rap, Eminem, this is what he said. This is what he said with regards to Canibus. Basically, he started off by saying, I used to be a man of the people, hit the clubs and mingle. What's up? He spits. Used to dream one day I'll be in pink like a flamingo. Pink the rapper? No, she's not a rapper. The singer or pop singer. But then he goes on and he says, that was back when I smoked cannabis. He was talking about actual Y'all know that. That's light, man. That's light. But it was tough because I was a fan of his. So it sucked to hand him his ass. But yeah, looking back on my fuse, how me and Ja Rule almost got cool, and he goes more on the Ja Rule. We went over that. But, so, Eminem just eloquently and just lightly just said, hey, you know what? Just thinking about Canibus. How I fed him his ass. How I destroyed him. Dang it. Gosh. Really didn't want to do that, but I did. Very lightly, very smooth. It was a smooth lyric, nothing real deep. So I want to let y'all know that I acknowledge that. I know, I heard it. It was super smooth. But you know what I wanted when I heard this? I immediately thought back to the Canibus and Eminem diss. But not just that. I thought about Stan. Now, you guys know the Stan song, one of Eminem's greatest masterpieces till date. And about that overly obsessed fan, and he drives off the cliff, and because Eminem, and he had his girlfriend in the trunk and whatnot, and he ends up killing himself. Well, during the Canibus and Eminem beef, Canibus took that Stan song and he redid it. He made himself, he rescued Stan. And he basically interviewed Stan and Canibus. It was weird, but Canibus, he just made himself Stan, and he rapped as if he was Stan after being rescued. I want to talk about that on today, just in case some of you all missed it. I know a lot of you all probably missed the remix, because the remix is way better than the original, so that's what I want to go over today. But it was actually pretty dope, and this is coming from an Eminem fan, so let's talk about it. Okay, but before we go into Canibus, basically his diss track on Eminem, let me quickly go over just a quick overview of Eminem. Eminem was talking about the beef. He was asked years ago, early 2000s, years and years ago, he was asked about this beef. So I want to play a few clips for you all to kind of see what Eminem was saying about this whole beef. Because this whole beef started, you know, kind of because they thought Eminem was ghostwriting for LL Cool. Let me play you all the first clip what Eminem said.
No, I mean, what beefs do we want to talk about? Like,
Canibus?
Yes, can we talk about that? What's the situation there?
can of shit?
What happened?
Canibus.
I don't know what happened. Like, you talking about with me and him or his career? Because either one would be the same answer.
Man, you and him, man. What sparked that? I mean, that came. I'm surprised. That kind of came from nowhere.
I don't know. He's like on some fag shit. Like, his shit came out of left field. Like, you gotta ask him.
What happened with the last record?
Okay, so now in this first clip, you see Eminem. He just starts off by saying, "You know what? You know, I don't know what Canibus was on. You know, I was actually a fan." Eminem actually stated that, you know, he was a fan, but he's like, hey, you know, he's on some other stuff right now. He just kind of laying down the foundation. But now in this next clip, he's gonna actually talk a little bit more about what happened.
Canibus' last record.
Oh, well, like, I don't know if I want to get into the whole story. Like, I met him at his video shoot, like, 4 years ago, when he was just about to blow. And everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing. And
They were wrong.
they were wrong. And, yo, honestly, he was an asshole. Like, he played himself. Like, to me, like, Clef, they thought I did the LL diss record. They thought I wrote LL's response. And, like, that's why they called me down to the video shoot. And, like, Clef had asked me, did I write it? And I was like, no, I didn't write it. And and then Canibus, like, asked me separately from Clef. And I was like, dog, I'm a grown man. I'll tell you if I wrote it. I didn't write it. And he was like, yo, V, I'm not going to say that I believe you. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust nobody in this game and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
So, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, yeah, in the second clip, this is where Eminem was like, hey, they invited me to a video shoot, but it was kind of to confront me. Because they wanted to know, because back then, LL Cool J had just put out a diss track on Canibus. And the diss track was really good. And it was so good that they thought Eminem wrote it. And this was before Eminem had been signed, too. This was before Eminem had been signed, so Eminem, he was excited to be invited to come out there. And he wanted actually to maybe collab with Canibus. In this next clip, he's going to talk about how, yeah, hey, maybe we can collab. But this next clip, this final clip, is pretty funny because he kind of do some impersonation of Canibus. Play the clip.
diss record. They thought I wrote LL's response. And, like, that's why they called me down to the video shoot. And, like, Clef had asked me, did I write it? And I was like, no, I didn't write it. And then Canibus, like, asked me separately from Clef. And I was like, dog, I'm a grown man. I'll tell you if I wrote it. I didn't write it. And he was like, yo, V, I'm not going to say that I believe you. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust nobody in this game and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, look, I didn't write it. And I like your style, and hopefully maybe one day we can do a record together. And he was like, yo, B, you get to know me first. Come hang out with me first. And walked away and left me standing there like an asshole. So I'm like, I didn't know what the guy's problem was. 3 months, maybe 6 months later, his album and the Slim Shady LP did something, and he came to see me on tour and apologized on the Warp Tour. He came on my bus and apologized for the way he acted and said maybe we can do a record together. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Well, Paul brought me a track. He brought me a track like a few months later that I wasn't feeling.
Okay, and we'll stop right there. So as you can see, you know, Canibus, he was like, because Canibus, he was about to blow up. I mean, he was about to blow up. Everybody thought like he was the next big thing. And like I said, Eminem had not like had his big breaking track just yet. So he, you know, Canibus was feeling himself. He was like, hey, yo, me, get to know me before you ask me for something. So he was being, you know, a little high head, a little dishumble, I'll say. And then his record didn't do well, but Eminem, well, y'all know what the Slim Shady did. It was amazing, one of his best of all time. So then Canibus, he finds out and he sees the sales and he comes back to M months later like, you know what, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. You still want to do that collab? You still want Yo, M, Lil Bobby say you still want collab. So anyway, long story short, Canibus had, Eminem wasn't a jerk. He wasn't a dick. He actually said, alright, send me a track. Canibus did send him a track, but Eminem wasn't feeling it. He said that the track that he sent them, I think it was Funk You or something like that. It's on his album. You guys can go watch it on Canibus. But Eminem was like, that sounds like you coming at me and LL Cool J. I don't want to be a part of that. So he didn't. So after that, this is where the beef really started. He put out an album and it had so many subliminals and it had so many diss towards him. But there was one song I want to talk about. I want y'all to hear. There was one song, it said, you didn't care. You didn't care. Y'all remember when Joe Budden wrote that love letter, his song, Slaughtermouse, that love letter to him? Well, this one was called You Didn't Care. You know what? Before I even talk about the actual You Didn't Care song, I need to go up to Canibus. He released several little skits before leading up to this diss track on M. So I can't play any of the skits because I've tried to upload and they all got demonetized or my video got taken down. So I'm gonna explain. So this is the first skit that Canibus did. Now you guys should go back and watch it if you haven't watched it. But this is called Stan Lives. It's about a minute long. And basically, it's just a skit of him, Canibus, and his boy. They're sitting in a car in this residential neighborhood, I guess, and all of a sudden, because that's what it sounds like, all of a sudden, this car came flying by. This guy is driving crazy. They hear cries in the trunk, and they're like, "Oh shoot, that guy better slow down." And then they off in the distance, they see the car go off a cliff, and they then go and save the guy, and the girlfriend's still in the trunk. So it's just Canibus, he's saving Stan. This one was called Stan Lives. Go check out that skit. Okay, so in this next skit that leads up to the diss track, it was called Stan and Can. Now, in this one, it was a little bit more weird, but basically it's Canibus and Stan. They are going into like a concert, and Canibus is taking Stan underneath of his wings. He's like, "You're my boy. I'm gonna make you famous. Look at all this stuff." And I think they reference like a Dreamcast. You're gonna have lots of Dreamcasts and money now, Stan. I got you. Eminem wasn't there, but I got you, and I want you to rap on my track about Eminem. It was so weird, but so now in this story, Stan is a rapper, and that's where the diss track that we're gonna hear is Stan rapping about his time with M and what really happened. Now, that leads us to the diss track, You Didn't Care. Now, I'm going to play a little bit of this because this does not get copyrighted. I tested, it doesn't seem to be. But it's the remix. It's not the original. The original kept getting copyrighted, but I can play the remix. And it's all Canibus lyrics and his words. I will say the remix is better than the original, but still, if you listen to the original also, I gotta admit, coming from a Stan, it's a great piece. It's a really good piece, and I enjoy it. And I enjoyed it. So I want you guys to listen real quick. I played like a quick snippet. This is the Canibus diss on Eminem, and this is the first part. And this is Stan talking about his time and what really happened. Here's the first part.
biggest fan. It's not even necessary to introduce who I am by now, cause we're good friends. Remember the letter I wrote before it lands on Up in Smoke? That's the day I was gonna cut your throat. I guess my watch is broke, cause by the time I woke, I see my watch is 12 hours late and I missed the show. But nonetheless, I'm glad that I finally reached you. Ever since the accident, I've been dying to speak to you, to tell you things have changed and I'm a different man, a different level of understanding. I'm a different stand. Things are a lot better. I promise I won't harass you with any letters saying things like we should be together. I meant we should start a group. The industry's full of homosexuals, Slim, but I don't wanna touch you. I got a new attitude. Really, I ain't mad at you. I just wanted you to recognize that I got talent too.
Not bad, right? Not bad. Come on now. Come on now, guys. Come on now. I know we're a lot of Eminem fans here, but that was pretty good. Now, here's the last part. Now, you may be saying, hey, that's really not a diss. And, you know, his whole, album wasn't really a diss. It was more of a playful satire, kind of like that whole album. But it was good. I mean, he had a lot of bars and he had a lot of good flow. It was a good lyric. Now, but this last part, where Stan talks, where he's rapping, listen to the lyrics, and let's play just a little bit of the last part of that song here.
After a couple months of therapy, I figured I was as ready as I'd ever be. I wanted to be an MC. He took me to shows with him. He let me flow with him. He let me write some rhymes and go on tour with him. I really believed in him. I decided to team with him. And now I'm overseas with him, getting cheese with him. And I'm MCing with him. I'm having the best time of my life. And I'm writing the best rhymes of my life. He introduces me to people as his lyrical equal. Let me write a rhyme on his album and even produce a beat too. He ain't see-through. I can't see him frontin'. He's not the type to call you just because he needs something. That's what I like about him. I wouldn't wanna rock a mic without him. He's got cojones and he's not a coward. Matter of fact, I think he met you. It was the day you came to his video shoot with DJ, Jimmy's nephew. Clef stepped to him and told him he should step to you. That you was ghostwriting for L, but that wasn't true. You was looking at him the same way I'm looking at you. Why can't we be friends, Em? I don't want nothing from you. You see, there's a little bit of Stan in all of us. Tell me where you think all of these record sales spawn from. Talking about Britney and Christina Aguilera, NSYNC too. Have you ever looked in the mirror? Your hair ain't really blonde and your eyes ain't blue. So never diss me, cause when you diss me, you're dissing you.
You know what? Stan, that last verse he said, Stan, when you're dissing me, you're standing, you're like dissing yourself because you're Stan yourself. I know that was written way back, but why does that verse sound so familiar? I'm being serious, guys. Why does that? It sounds vaguely like someone used that here recently. Something, you're Stan yourself. You want to change, but you're Stan. It sounds like something that my I don't know who said that. Maybe it was my mom's groupie's kid. I don't know. But anyway there, guys, I'd like to know what you all thought. Did y'all think that was pretty good? What you all thought about this situation and all the diss track? I just want to acknowledge that I seen it. I seen you guys' comments. But other than that, this was quite the beef itself. Unlike the beef with Ja Rule, you know, Canibus, he's actually a good rapper. And let me tell you, from the 90s to 2000s, he was the man. He was definitely top tier, easily, and still can compete today. I haven't heard much from him though. But anyway, I thank you guys for watching. That's the end of this video. Guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, boy. Other than that, KIP, keep it positive. I promise y'all, it's gonna be alright. You ain't gotta worry about a thing. It's gonna be alright. I'll see you guys.